The current crop of Real Madrid loanees is perhaps the most exciting and lauded group the club has ever had. And it's hard for big clubs to strike gold with their loanees. Few ever come back to become starters, fewer still become stars. But Real Madrid's success rate in this department has recently been relatively high. One of the most important players in Zinedine Zidane's starting 11, Casemiro, had a successful spell at FC Porto before returning to the Bernabeu and working his way into the team. Another breakout star in this year's team, Federico Valverde, spent a year at Deportivo. The list goes on. Dani Carvajal, on loan to Bayer Leverkusen in the 2012-13 season, became one of the Bundesliga's best right-backs before returning to Real and cementing himself a place. Lucas Vazquez and Marco Asensio, both important contributors over the past few seasons, succeeded during their loan spells to Espanyol earlier in their careers. And it's a trend which is maybe continuing. Martin Odegard, who's been away from Real Madrid since 2017, has developed exponentially during that time. Odegard started his loan journey at Heerenveen, where he had a quiet campaign amongst meagre teammates. One season later at Vitesse, Odegard evolved into one of the Eredivisie's best players. His defensive pressure numbers and expected assists rank among the highest in the league. This season, Odegard is back in La Liga at Real Sociedad and performing at the highest point of his young career. Arguably Sociedad's most important player, his offensive numbers are elite and he leads the league in key passes per game and is currently 4th in dribbles completed per 90. Achraf Hakimi and Sergio Reguilon have been impressive at Dortmund and Sevilla respectively. Hakimi, who's on the second year of his 2-year loan, has proven to be a versatile player under head coach Lucien Favre. The Moroccan has played regularly on both flanks and this season has also featured as a right and left winger in a more advanced role than he's before been accustomed to. But he's thrived. He actually leads the team in the Champions League with 4 goals and was one of the chief attacking threats in Dortmund's important comeback win over Inter Milan at the Westfalenstadion. Hakimi still has to improve defensively, that's clear, but Zidane has hinted at his return and appears personally interested in the player's progress. Reguilon is currently at Sevilla, working under former Real Madrid coach Julian Lopetegui. At Real last season, under Santiago Solari, Reguilon demonstrated just how good he can be defensively, with rare flashes in the other direction. This season, however, Lopetegui has unleashed his offensive potential. Reguilon, along with Jesus Navas on the opposite flank, channel Sevilla's attacks by providing depth and dangerous crosses. His ability to combine with Nolito on both the underlap and overlap continues to create all kinds of difficulties for opposing defences. Another promising young player on loan is Takefusa Kubo, currently at Mallorca. Kubo didn't feature in most of the Islanders' early season matches, but has recently grown into the team, showing his impressive technical ability with his close control and also his creativity with his range of passing. As a measure of the Japanese attacking midfielder's influence, Mallorca are reportedly already keen to extend his loan for another year, something which will depend on whether they can survive relegation this season. But not all of Real Madrid's loanees have been necessarily successful. Dani Ceballos, after an impressive start at Arsenal, was in and out of the lineup under Unai Emery and has had difficulty exerting influence. With the new coach now in place, his situation threatens to become even more tenuous. Ceballos has expressed his desire to stay with Arsenal publicly, much like Mateo Kovacic did last season at Chelsea, but whether the London club are similarly keen is a different matter. The most disastrous spell has been that of Jesus Vallejo, who has featured in a combined 612 minutes in all competitions for Wolves. Vallejo's most high-stakes appearance this season was when he started in place of an injured Ryan Bennett against Chelsea in a 5-2 loss back in September. Since that match, Vallejo has often been left out of the squad altogether, and Real Madrid are reportedly trying to terminate his loan spell early. Madrid also have 3 players on loan at Valladolid: André Lunin, Javi Sanchez, and Jorge de Frutos. As of the second week of December though, the 3 players have combined for a total of 56 minutes, all of which came from de Frutos, the least promising of the 3. Lunin, an impressive young goalkeeper, hasn't earned any playing time behind goalkeeper Jordi Masip, and Javi Sanchez, one of Castilla's best central defenders over the past 2 seasons, has been out with an ankle injury. Another interesting prospect that has developed better than expected is Oscar Rodriguez, who's on the second year of his 2-year loan spell at Loanees. Oscar is a threat from distance and a set-piece specialist. Under Mauricio Pellegrino last season, he was given a free role in midfield, where he provided an outlet to his teammates on the counter-attack and distributed vertical passes. Loanees have struggled this season, but Oscar's development continues independently of that decline. He likely won't have a place in a Real Madrid team with a future, but has already proven himself to be a serviceable La Liga player. The last loanee in La Liga is Borja Mayoral, who's been quiet at Levante over the past 2 seasons and in and out of the team. While he's playing regularly now under Paco Lopez, he's still unlikely to have any future at his parent club. Zinedine Zidane's son, goalkeeper Luca, might do though, as he's quietly been having a good season at Racing Santander, while Alberto Sarro, a promising younger winger signed from Zaragoza over the summer, has begun a 2-year loan with the club prior to joining Madrid full-time in the summer of 2021.